Okay, just continuing on here, thanks for coming back and watching the rest of this painting. Okay, we're just going to put a few lines in here. We've got our reflection in the water. Might need a little bit more sting in there yet, but we'll come back to that. We'll see how it looks when we get the darks around it. So we're just going to put a few lines under here to break up that background little island or whatever it is. Do whatever you like. That's the beauty of art. Everyone sees something different in it. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're going to just threw that away. We should stick with that. We're going to put in some darks right here, and we're going to have some big pandanus palms this time. And on both sides, get our little brush, maybe a bigger brush, 2-inch brush will do it, I think. So we got a 2-inch straight into the dark, and we want to darken it up with a little bit of that black as well. So don't be scared of it, get it in there. Like I always say, if you're worried about the bigger brush, stick with the smaller one until you feel confident. So we're just going to fill this area, taking our eye towards the centre. Nice and dark. You can leave a few lights in there if you like. And, oop, I don't want too much there. There as well. Just step back, have a look. Got it nice and high, one higher than the other, that's the way to go. And we can just put a couple of little ones out there as well. Like one there. And we're going to get our fan. Nice loose fan, loosen it up in the oil as well. Pick up a bit of our dark here, and we're just going to flick it around. We're going to come over, this is just the basics of it. I'm going to come around shortly and put the liner into it, which will make it really come alive. But this is just to get the body of what we want to do started. That's the secret to it. You don't have to do it all perfectly with a little brush. Get the body in first, then you can play around with the small stuff and just do your finishing off with your little brushes. Okay. And starting to look all right. Needs a little bit more dark in there. Just have a look, see what you think. Starting to look all right. Don't forget we've got reflection, so that's going to come down into the water as well. Don't forget that, very important. Makes the painting. Take the reflection out and it just looks like it's floating in mid-air, so we can't have that. Fan brush is in the bucket already. We'll give it a bit of a clean. I always say the fan brushes are the best way to do your reflections, so you're fanning sideways. I just find you've got so much more control than a large brush. But nice and dry, so you're not picking up any paint. Just fan that gently. Always start on the inside before you go out here, so you're not contaminating this light area, and then go back into your dark area. Okay, got a bit of a line there, but that's okay. We can put a line through it with our knife. Here we go. So out into the lighter part of the painting, we're going to have a lighter colours. Needs that white in there, I find, with that sun. Get it in. And a bit over there as well, that's better. So we'll fan that as well while we're at it. Great little exercise if you're doing into sunsets, the beautiful colours, the ochres, the oranges, and that Volution Violet goes so nice with it. In fact, if you have a look in the sky and the sunsets, you'll always see the Volution Violets there. It's not made up. That's why it looks so natural when you put it in, because it is out there. Okay, now we're just going to put a few trunks in here. Get one of our liners, a little bit thicker than the thinner one, of course. Now don't forget these things twist and turn and break off, so we're going to have them all over the place here. One back that way. I'm not going to see too much of the trunks, but we'll highlight those as well. And up and into there. Coming back across here to over here, this little one over here. As long as we can see it, that's the main thing we're after. Put those reflections in the water. Don't try and do it perfectly, there's no point to it. It looks so much better if you just do it a little bit fast, a bit erratic, and it just helps your painting look alive. So we'll put those colours on the side of those, and up there as well. So now we've got a nice distinct line, bit of colour on the trunks where the sun's hitting it. You can even put a little bit in here as well. Just pat those down, doesn't matter how you do it, even with just your finger or whatever. Just gives the effect of that. A couple of trunks back there in the distance. We're going to continue on here and highlight those trunks for us. Don't forget we've already got it in the water. A little bit of orange over here, a little bit lighter out here in the sunlight. Just got to think about how it would be all the time. You're always thinking. There's a common knowledge with most artists that they always say they've never actually really looked at things until they've started painting. And it's so true. Everyone looks but they don't see. But when you start painting, you actually start seeing things differently. And it's great because you get to smell the roses as you cruise through life, and it's the best way to do it. So here we go, look at this. Not only smell them, you get to see them and paint them. Just going to fan it sideways once again. You can turn this on its edge this time. I'll paint this one first. Then you can turn it on its edge and get that reflected look just by running it through. So simple, but it's effective. Now we're just going to get our liner. Nice long-haired line. We can actually bring up some of those leaves on the pandanus palms. Well, they're pretty big. They're almost like fronds, actually. So here we go. We're into the dark, and this is when it starts to really look like something. So we get a few going up. We can even put one sticking up in the air like that, if you like. And we're just going to flick them either side. Out from the centre, at the top there. And we'll put a little bit of colour over these ones that are in the shade, in the light actually, very shortly. So you don't want to do them all like that, but we'll balance it up and we'll put one up there. And the rest we can just make them like grass trees, they are, these things. Big tall grass trees, that's what they look like. They've got a lot of character the way the trunks twist and turn. Beautiful looking tree. Okay. And just so common up there in Kakadu and around that area. So it sets the place off, I think. Okay. Don't worry about it too much, just get them in. Starting to look okay. Make one area a little bit darker, like another one in there if you wish. If you don't like it, not happy about it. Don't forget we're going to come over it shortly with a bit of light, and that'll make a difference as well. So how are we looking? Get some hanging down too. Need some hanging down there. Nice whippy long line is the way to go with these. Okay, a bit of light on there. We'll throw a bit of light on it. And just before we go too much further, we better have another short break. So we need a bit of light on there. A bit on there as well. And now we're going to get some light on these, on the inside where the sun's hitting them. And we can do a bit of orange as well. Mix it up, get the orange on the bottom and the bottom right out of the light, or the bottom left out of the light, and the ones on the inside will make them more yellow. Okay. We might just continue on with this. We're going to have a quick break. And it's starting to come together. We've got a few darks in here that are against darks. You know, that's the golden rule. We don't want to break that. So we're going to have to fix that up. So we'll come back, finish it off, we'll see you then.